A jacket potato pizza.
A dry pizza base. No tomato sauce, nothing.
Right.
Jacket potato in the middle. He undid like just a button and a bit of his zip on his trousers, and he had another pair of trousers on underneath.
Stop.
You are on to talk about your new tour. You've got a tour.
Oh, yes.
I love the title. Jacket potato pizza.
I just thought I'd call it that. Well, this is a story that I'm really enjoying doing the show because it's about lots of different things, you know.
Well, I want to get onto the list of things.
Well, jacket potato pizza is is a meal that a date made me. Well,
A
yes.
jacket potato pizza.
A dry pizza base. No tomato sauce, nothing.
Right.
Jacket potato in the middle. No, also nothing on it.
Go on, no.
The jacket potato. I'm glad you've done that because often when I tell this story on stage, people look like, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong?"
What's wrong? I'm not.
Speaking of psychopaths.
Where's
That's
I need a
insanity.
water. I need a water just talking about this.
Because
I
you've
need to
given
drink.
yourself a dry mouth with the
Oh.
shock.
That's it. I see. That's another thing bubbling under the surface. You need a diagnosis. He's kind of got a dry mouth just talking about dry pizza.
Just
and
talking
dry
about that, it
potatoes.
gave me a dry mouth.
Wow.
If I talk about dry things, you'll become dry.
You've hey, get your head out of the gutter.
What?
No, that mentioning
It
that
wasn't
you
even, I
said
don't even know what you mean by that.
you said dry pizza base and jacket potato. Now we've had a long-standing thing on our podcast is that Rosie loves jacket potatoes,
I love a
and
I love a jacket potato.
No.
Your favourite food, Bridget?
Oh my God. I
Okay,
love
what do you have on your jacket potato?
I would have beans and cheese
Nice. Good
No.
choice.
So for me,
Good choice.
the beans are the problem here.
because they make it all wet.
No, because a bean in itself, is exactly the same consistency as a potato. It's essentially a mini potato on loads of mini potatoes on a potato, and that's
Kinda
my
get
problem.
that. But that's
I
fine.
can't do the texture of that, and I find it looks jacket potato roasted or whatever they do with it. Open, load of beans, loads of cheese melted on top. It looks amazing. The sauce. I take a mouthful. I want it to be over. It's awful.
No,
And you haven't got a diagnosis, did you say? No,
But just
I know
talking
what you
about
mean.
it.
It's about texture and a bean is it can be sort of powdery and hard, whereas a potato is, depending on how you cook it, should be fluffy, soft.
Yeah, I don't know, but
I've started making them jacket potatoes in the oven, like for
Very comforting.
hours. Amazing. And I have to scoop his out with and I mix butter in with cheese and mayonnaise, and then I put it back in, and you enjoy that.
it just has to be.
Do you know
it has to be fucking lubricated for us to swallow it.
Yeah.
Lubricate. I've got a thing where I choke easily if food is too dry.
I remember you talked about this on Taskmaster. I remember this. Yeah.
It's got a name.
So how did you possibly manage? So I'm sorry to go back to this.
Oh yeah,
Dry pizza base with a dry jacket potato on top.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And
did
that
you
was
eat
the
it?
meal.
yeah.
You ate
No.
it?
It was. And I went, oh, because I was really young and I was nice then. I had estrogen back then. I was in my 20s.
We put up with so much more, didn't we?
Don't we put up with
Oh
so
my God.
much?
I was so tolerant of some people. Now, I'm like, I've got no time.
I've got
I
no
would have
time.
laughed in his face. I would have left. I'd have said, what the fuck is this?
Well, now,
Yeah.
but not with estrogen.
Yeah, with estrogen. I'd
You
have went,
much-
this is so
yeah.
sweet. You've
Yeah,
made
yeah.
a meal for us.
Ooh,
Oh, wow.
what's that?
Thank you.
And I am assuming this is the night that you found out you had the gagging with dry food thing, because that's the driest thing in the world. You might as well eat a bucket of sand.
The dry throat thing has only happened in like the last 10 years.
Oh.
So I did eat the dry jacket potato. That isn't the weirdest thing that happened that night.
Oh, my gosh.
Don't worry that I'm not like an act who talks about rude things.
No worries.
But he was doing this funny dance like then later,
Right.
you know, like a joke strip tease.
Was he not just trying to get his digestive system moving because of all of
He was
the
trying to get the potato
potato
down.
and bread eating?
Carbs.
Just get it moving.
Yeah.
Rocking back and forward. Squats.
Oh my God. And he undid like just a button and a bit of his zip on his trousers, and he had another pair of trousers on underneath. Stop.
Two pairs of trousers. What?
I've talked about this before.
What kind of trousers?
What was he wearing? I can't remember what. Did he have jeans or? I think it was trousers. And I went, oh.
That's a sensory thing, though.
Yeah, someone
No, because of the cold.
Oh, right.
Oh, right.
And I was
okay.
like, well,
Like
can't you
thermals?
just layer, like wear thermals? And he
Right.
went, why would I spend money on an extra item of clothing when I can just wear 2 pairs of trousers?
Did he
Jeez
not look
Louise.
like henched?
Bulked
Yeah, was his legs not like bulked? Did he not look like tight but thick?
I hadn't looked at his leg like you don't like look at. You don't tend to go. I think Rosie's got 2 pairs.
See, that's the difference. I would have noticed that straight
Yeah.
away.
Because it
I would have
puffy.
seen and I'd have gone, why is like his middle like
All
thick
bunched up.
and bunched together? Like, where's his skin?
Well,
yeah,
where's
I would have spotted that, I think.
Well, you say that, but then I did this bit. I did this on stage.
Yeah.
But what I did was I bought 2 pairs of jeans that were the same, but one was a size bigger, and I did my gig.
Right.
And then when it came to that bit, I did that bit, and then towards the end of the set, I took 1 pair of jeans, and I had another pair on underneath.
Right.
But they
Great.
hadn't remembered the
no.
routine, and I was like, this is a callback.
no.
This is it. That's a great
I'm not a
callback.
psycho who's just worn 2 pairs of jeans. Don't you think sometimes with audiences, like you have to,
Yeah, sometimes you got to
spell it
spoon feed them.
like
yeah,
this
yeah.
is a callback.
That is a
anyway.
great
So, had you done it in the
That
same
is-
show? That was the same
Oh,
show.
it was
you
a
mentioned that at the
20-minute
beginning.
set. Did the routine.
Go and shut up. And they didn't get it. That's
Well,
madness.
it didn't really get much of a response.
See, because my thing there would have been, had you done the first bit, because I was watching my mate once in Edinburgh, and it was his last show, and at the end he did a big thing where he was like, remember that bit I said at the beginning, and the whole final bit was based on it, and he'd forgot to
done
do
the setup.
he forgot to do the setup. And apparently,
Classic.
so I'll tell a lie. Actually, I wasn't there. He's told us the story that many times that I feel like I was there. It was at the stand.
Yeah.
It was Jason Cook, and he was ready to do the last bit, and he said he didn't know why all of the staff had come in to watch. So all of the staff had come in, and the word had went around among the staff going, he hasn't done the
He
setup.
hasn't done the setup.
He hasn't done the set for his thing. And he literally apparently stood on stage and he went, so remember the thing I said at the start? Well, and he got ready to put like the PowerPoint on, and then he realised, and apparently the staff just lost their shit.
Oh my God.
And he had to tell them it again and then do the bit. Disaster.
It's funny what goes through your head because that's happened to all of us
Yeah,
at
yeah.
some point. And then you go, because you do the show in an order and you get to the bit and you think, I'm going to have to crowbar the setup in now.
Yeah.
Again, yeah.
And then
yeah,
the payoff isn't going to work, so I put them together.
Yeah.
yeah.
And so it's like,
I've never ever thought about that, you know.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never thought about if you like the structure of the show. If you miss that out,
Oh,
gosh, that's so interesting.
especially if you're full, like if you've got a costume
Yeah.
change based
Yeah.
on the first bit and you
yes.
forget that first bit.
Yeah.
it's not even that though. I think this is why I think stand-up, I was talking to someone about this the other day, is completely addictive because you will never, the variables of what can happen in terms of timing, something happening in the room, getting something slightly wrong, saying something in another way, removing words, everything makes a difference to how
Yeah.
something goes down or doesn't go down well.
Yeah.
And the audience don't know, and sometimes we don't know, but something's slightly off. And that can start from the moment you walk out there.
Oh,
And so
really?
it is like alchemy, really.
Yeah.
It's like a vibe, a slightly wrong vibe. It can be like one person in the room. It can be the mic not being on.
Yeah.
It can be your walk-on music being really quiet.
Yeah.
And it can be literally anything.
Yeah.
And so that's why we keep doing it, I think. Why? Because you
You're
never
trying
get
to catch lightning in a bottle. Yeah.
yeah, you never get to a point where you think, I'm the best I could possibly be.
That's
That
so
gig never
interesting.
comes.
Nah.
It
And if it
never
ever comes and
will.
if you ever think you're that, the next one's a dog shit.
Oh.
You lose it.
The stand-up goblin.
Yeah.
Oh, think you're good, do you? Well, I'll
Yeah.
I'll give
I'll
you
go-
a heckler in your
give
next
you a-
gig and you're in a bad mood. And
Not
you
even
lose
that.
your
A
shit.
quiet crowd's
Anything.
worse than a heckler.
Right.
A quiet. And this is one for me. Why are sometimes an entire crowd en masse just quiet?
why?
En masse.
Why?
En masse.
I had that years ago on tour. It was somewhere like Torquay or somewhere like that. It was as if they had all agreed
Yeah.
before the show
Yeah.
to psych me
Yes.
to get into my head because
Yeah.
it is. I remember
it's
this.
awful.
This
I
was 10
can
years ago,
imagine.
and I've never forgotten it. I did not. Now, this wasn't a mixed bill. This was my tour show.
So they had to come and see you. Yeah.
I did not get a round of applause when I introduced myself on to the stage. And I went out and I said, oh, well, that's never happened before.
Frosty.
What's going on, guys? That didn't get anything. And I was like, I tell you what, we've got 2 hours tonight. This has never happened. I said, I did all this stuff, I've walked off to silence, never, very rarely walked on to silence. Arms crossed, staring. I was like, let's start again. Same again. Nothing again.
Oh, God.
Went down amongst them trying to be like, I was like, I can't do material in this environment. I've got to do something different because this room is insane. Like, there's a horrible atmosphere.
Right.
Which was there before I had even come out. So
I've got a theory.
Go on.
I wonder whether, you talk about how many people are in the world and what's the possibilities and like what's the chance of that. I wonder whether on those nights, whether you just get a crowd of exactly the same personality and it's just a complete fluke that you have managed to, the people who've bought your tickets just managed to be all very similar on that one evening. Does that make sense?
But 500 people not
500,
clapping.
okay.
No, but what I mean is...
I was thinking it might be a small intimate gig.
I've never seen...
That's mad.
In 25 years, somebody walking on to nothing.
To nothing.
That's odd. That's
especially
really
if they're paid
odd.
to come and see you. They know what they're getting. That's so weird. I don't know. Maybe they've just planned it beforehand.
I don't know how it happens. I hate it.
Also, you know what the Americans do when they don't introduce themselves and they coolly walk out and everyone goes crazy? We don't do that here. No. We introduce ourselves because we don't have those whooping audiences. Like we have to work, and I'm glad.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I don't want to have whoops for saying that I'm from Gloucester or that I'm 54.
Yeah.
Like I don't want a whoop for no reason.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever want a whoop.
You lie. You would have killed for a whoop that night in Torquay. You would have killed for a whoop.
For one whoop. Anything.
It would have been very
Anything.
strange.
I've got a bit of an ick about comedy,
What?
You've got.
I'm just going to say it to you guys.
Go on.
And it's not your guys' fault. It's all of comedy.
Yeah.
I hate it when you introduce yourselves on the stage.
So
and I'm
do I.
so
I don't-
sorry to say that.
I don't like it. But if I don't do it, I'm going to tell
Let
you
me do
now.
it. Can I do a voiceover for you? And will you play it? I'll do it. I'll record
But
it
how
at
is
home.
that different from me? Right, I put it to the test because I had seen Dave Chappelle at Leicester Square Theatre
Yeah.
and I was doing my show the next night. Now, he just sauntered out and the
Yeah.
audience went mad.
Yeah.
The next night, I said, I always feel a bit weird and cringe going, please, welcome to the stage.
But if somebody else was doing it, it wouldn't be as weird and cringe.
I think
if
it
you had a voice. Do you not think? You all do it for yourselves. And we know that it's
My
you
supporter
doing
does
it.
it for me, and I do it for my supporter.
You used to do it for yourself.
Well,
a couple of times.
well,
It's just-
sometimes
it's just an observation. Go on, though. Did you walk out yourself?
So what happened?
I walked out. They literally couldn't give a shit.
Oh no!
Still on their phones. It was as if they didn't know what Bridget Christie looked like, and so.
You all went, fucking hell, Dave Chappelle looks different in real life.
So didn't know, just assumed it was someone testing the mic.
Right.
I mean, that's the only thing I could think of. So then I had to say, sorry, it's me, right? It's
Yeah.
I'm Bridget Christie. And then they were like reluctantly putting their phones away. I wonder if it's just
No, I
Does-
do.
does
I
that-
think we're British. I think we need an introduction.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap up quickly, but I've got two.
Wrap up?
I know.
Oh my God. Wait a second, I want to know one thing before we go on any further. What did you have that written at the bottom of the notes for?
So just really quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was you, unless I'm. And when you say it out loud now, I'm like, I'm so sorry if I'm going mad and it wasn't you. I saw a video recently that came up on Instagram, and I think you were doing an interview with Kerry Godliman.
Yes.
Yeah. On a podcast that
Memory
she does.
Lane podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you were talking about the fart WhatsApp group.
We've just started it up again. So we've all been farting this week.
This is fantastic.
Right. I was in the
haven't explained it
text
to Chris.
chain when Rosie sent this to me and the producer and said, can you remind me tomorrow, Bridget Christie fart WhatsApp group? And I looked at my phone and I thought, I'm obviously dreaming. This is obviously in some kind of...
It wasn't meant to be a fart WhatsApp group. It was the walking group. We were going to go on a walk to Snowdon or something.
Right.
Because we were all on tour, we haven't managed to do one yet. So we just started just sending farts to each other, and then we haven't for ages. And then
good.
I mentioned it on the podcast,
Yeah.
and we've started it up again. I sent one from a bus stop the other day, and interestingly, because we haven't done it for so long, I've realised that I've got to the point in my life where I'm happy to do that at a bus stop and not care
It's just
when the
out
other
in public.
people
That
look
is-
and see what
That is the
she
most.
just record.
That is genuinely,
That is what happened.
without a shadow of a doubt, that might be the most pure statement of freedom that I've ever heard in my entire
It's
life.
incredibly
I
liberating.
recorded a fart at a bus stop and sent it on a WhatsApp.
And didn't care that other people like.
Bridget, you are living your life.
I felt so liberated.
That is so nice.
More than I think maybe anything else I've done in.
Oh,
and
man.
I don't know if that's estrogen or age or.
Who knows? Just freedom.
do